Hi guys! For those of you who don't know me, I'm Madison, and for those of you who do know me, hi! I'm really excited because today is one full year of sobriety for me, and it's something that I want to celebrate with you guys. And the best way I know how to celebrate this milestone in my life is to give back to my community. And today, I want to give back by going through 10 of the benefits that I've noticed in my life by quitting alcohol. And I think this is timely because I see a movement in sober curiosity, and I see more and more people beginning to question their relationship with alcohol, or, do I really need to have a drink with dinner or when I'm out with friends? And really being intentional about it. And that excites me. It's something that I'm always here as a resource if you have questions about my experience. But today I wanted to celebrate by going through 10 benefits I've noticed in my life personally by cutting out alcohol. So to start off strong, and this could be my favorite, it is I'm saving a lot of money. As you know, going out to a bar, you're spending like $10 to $20 on a drink. And depending on how many drinks you have, it starts to add up a little bit. So I've noticed a bump in my savings this year being sober. And I really started to think, how I spend my money is a reflection of my values. And now I'm being pretty intentional with what I want to save for and what I'm doing with this extra cash I find myself with. I'm traveling more. I'm buying nicer things, but really at the end of the day, if you want to save money and if you're budgeting, this could be an easy way to, save towards that next main goal in your life. Second on our list, we have wellness, but we'll call it, there's a couple different categories of wellness that I want to touch on today. And the first being weight loss and muscle building in particular. So if you know me, if you've been following my journey, I've lost about 65 pounds and I've kind of maintained that consistently. And I've noticed a huge change in my seamless ability to track my macros. I'm not worried or anxious about my carb intake for the day, or if I'm going to track it as a fat, or how do I track this? What's in this drink? A lot of that kind of goes away when you don't drink, and I'm drinking a lot more water, which is good too. I've noticed that my tracking of macros is a lot easier, and I'm able to eat a lot more nutritious foods and whole foods and things that really nourish my body. And to go along with that muscle building, I'm really focused on the mind muscle connection during my workouts and getting the most out of my workouts and optimal training. So if you're interested in weight loss or muscle building, I think this could be a big tool for you. And I'm not as inclined to order, fast food or binge or anything like that because I feel satiated. I'm eating, a lot of calories, and I'm not drinking my calories. So something to consider. Along with that, we'll go with health as a broader topic, I think, for the third one. And we'll get more detailed here in my blood work, let's say. So I recently got my blood work done, and if you were to take my blood work, a couple of years ago, I think it would be a totally different story, but my doctor gave me an A+ on my blood work, right? So what does that mean? It means my kidneys and my liver are functioning like optimally. It's an A+. So that's my body's ability to kind of be healthy. I think your blood is a big marker of that. Along with that, I would say my brain health is at its peak, I feel, and I'm not kidding, like the smartest I've felt in a long time. I don't have brain fog in the morning. I'm sharp, I'm on it, and I don't ever find myself missing a beat, for the most part. Obviously, I'm not a genius, but I do feel smarter than I've felt in a long time. So number 4 on the list is improved mood, improved energy. I'm happy, right? So and I want to kind of get into this one a little bit in regards to your dopamine in your brain. So, what does that mean to be happy, right? So, when I was drinking, something I noticed is I wasn't finding joy in the little things in life, right? So, there's a reason why, and it's because when you're drinking alcohol, it throws off your dopamine reward system in the brain, and it thinks like, wow, this is a blowing the scale out of proportion, right? So it's 100 on a scale of 1 to 10 when I have a drink, and I feel really, really good when I have my first sip, right? And then, diminishing returns. But you don't find joy in the little things anymore. And I've noticed that I've kind of reset that scale. And, going for a walk almost felt meaningless when I was drinking. And now going for a walk on a nice day is like, wow, the highlight of my day. I'm looking around and I'm like, this is life. I love it. Um, and that sounds silly, but it's true. And my scale is back to normal. And I'm like, wow, I'm just happy to be eating this apple. Like, wow. I just find myself to be just so much more enthralled in mundane day-to-day things instead of chasing these like crazy dopamine highs. And then with that, I will say my emotions are a lot more stabilized. Like I don't find myself having like these mood swings that I was having before, like lashing out at people that I love. Like that's kind of all gone to the wayside. I feel like I'm able to forward think a little bit more than I ever had before. And like that's kind of a broader topic, but I feel like I'm moving closer to my higher purpose and contributing to society and being just a really active member of my community. And that brings me joy, and that, makes me happy, and I have more energy to put towards those things as opposed to like being hungover and maybe like spending the day watching Netflix and kind of wasting away. Like, you know what I mean? So that has been a huge benefit too. I've been able to accomplish some of these goals I've had on my list, like running a 10K or just traveling more. I'm like, wow, I really want to put time and energy towards these things that I really care about and that I've cared about for a long time, but I kind of like forgot that I was able to do these things or like had the time to do these things. So number 5, that leads us to time. When I first cut out alcohol, I found myself being bored. I found myself having a lot more free time, and now I'm filling that time with things that really excite me, working out being one of them, hobbies, gardening, being outside, journaling, meditation, all of these things that, I was like, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm like, wow, I do have time to do this. Waking up, I wake up at 6 every day now. If you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would be, the hell no. I was not a morning person. I refused to get up before like 8:30, and now I'm like finding I do have these pockets of time in my day because I'm getting up earlier and I'm going to bed earlier and I'm feeling more well rested too. Going to the next part here, number 6, quality sleep. And I think this is a huge marker of how you're going to set up your next day is how you go to bed. So you stay out super late drinking with your friends, and it's all gravy, but that does impact your sleep and your ability to wake up in the morning. So I've just noticed my quality of sleep is a huge priority in my life. I'm ensuring I get 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours each night. If quality sleep is important to you, I think maybe consider cutting back on alcohol, and you'll notice a huge improvement. And this is all contributing to my overall mood too, right? With these pillars that I'm able to hit, like obviously it's making me feel better. Number 7 on the list, we have routines and consistency. I think I am such a routine person. I'm so disciplined with my routines, more than I've ever been in my entire life. And it brings me a lot of structure in my life, which I love. I adore having that. And I'm able to, fall into this routine of really adding in positive habits in my life and kind of stacking in new ones and refining, my routines to be just the most optimal in my life. Number 8 on the list, we have better relationships. And I think my overall mood contributes to my ability to show up for people in my life, and I'm finding myself really happy with how fulfilling my relationships are, and they're not taking place in settings like a bar where I'm screaming over the music trying to tell you about, this issue I'm having at work or whatever. It's like we're sitting down and we're really enjoying the time together. And I think my relationships have really benefited from it, and I'm being a lot more intentional with how I communicate in relationships and how I show up and who I show up for. And the type of people that I'm around, to be honest, is just better. And I'm more intentional with my friends and how they fill up my cup and I fill up theirs. I have more inspiring conversations. There's just a lot that comes with having good people around you. And I think being sober around your friends that really care about you, they are cheering you on. I promise you, no one is judging you in those situations. Next up, number 9 on the list, we have reduced inflammation. And I mean, I was so puffy. Like, my face would puff up after a night of drinking, and I noticed a lot less inflammation in my body everywhere, because that's what alcohol is doing. It's inflaming your system. And I noticed my face feels, it looks, people have said I look different. Like, my face is much thinner. I don't carry as much water weight. Reducing inflammation is only going to benefit you in the long term, because reducing inflammation is reducing like long-term disease and the ability for that to grow in your body. So, I mean, that's a huge benefit if you are forward thinking and you care about your health. So, and also just appearances. I mean, I'm not puffy and like bloated, and oh, it's such a gross feeling. And then finally on our list, number 10, we've made it, is improved mental health. And I know we've touched on health in various aspects already, but I think this one deserves its own bullet point. So many people were suffering and are suffering from anxiety, depression that comes along with a night of drinking the next day, waking up feeling like, did I say something that offended somebody, or did I mess up talking to this person? You're just replaying the night, and that anxiety that came with a night of fun was no longer worth it to me. It really impacted I do have generalized anxiety to note here. So I thought it would flare up my anxiety. I would feel just awful, honestly. And we can go more into depth on this too if you guys are curious about it. But my mental health, I'm no longer really experiencing feelings of anxiety. I mean, here and there, but overall I'm very stable, I would say. And I think cutting out alcohol is a big reason for that, along with everything that has benefited me on this list as well, has probably contributed to my lack of anxiety that I've been experiencing. We will talk about my reasonings for being sober, I think, in a different video. But today I really want to just highlight and celebrate myself for making it a full year without drinking and the benefits I notice. And if you're curious, or if you're somebody that, has been reevaluating your relationship with alcohol, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you guys for listening. Those are my 10 reasons